Hello everyone, and welcome to Sweet Stitches Quilt Shop. Today is First Friday Demonstration Day. Won't you join me over at the cutting table? Hi everyone, and welcome to the June First Friday Demonstration Day here at Sweet Stitches Quilt Shop. I'm Joan, and today our theme is Learning Curve. We're going to talk about curves, and I have a couple tips first off, and then some quilts and some bags to show you today. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the very traditional curved piece, and this is called the Drunkard's Path block. How it got its name, I don't know, but it's been around for a long time. But how you put the pieces together, it makes it look like a crazy path that a drunk has taken. So, hence the name Drunkard's Path. When you have a Drunkard's Path block, you have a convex piece and you have a concave piece. And so a concave piece, the curve is coming in. A convex piece, the curve is going out. And so when you put these pieces together, it's always best to lay them out next to each other, right next to your machine. And what you want to do is you want to tilt this one, the convex piece, you want to turn on top of your concave piece like this. It's going to look odd, like it doesn't go together, but what it does is you're going to take a pin, and I always like to take my pieces and fold them in half and put a little crease, or you can actually mark the center with a pin, and you want to do that on both pieces. So you'd fold this piece too. Then you would match up the pin or the crease, and you would put your first pin in. And so your first pin always goes in the center, like this. The second pin, you'll be bringing together the two ends. And so it's kind of crazy because there's all this fullness here that is not matched up with anything. But you ease that in as you work it through your machine using your 1/4-inch foot. The 1/4-inch foot kind of helps keep everything nice and tight, keeps the fabric tight up against the foot so that you stay at a good 1/4 of an inch. And so here I have my two pieces together, and you can see how much gap there is. But as you're sewing this down, you'll start on one corner. You're just going to ease the convex piece into the concave piece, and you're going to stitch around till you get to the next pin. Take the pin out before you stitch over it, and you're going to work your way around to the other pin. Now, if you really love to pin, which I don't, but if you do, you can also stick a couple more pins in here. You know, help yourself feel better about doing the curve, but you don't have to. So you're going to sew all the way around, and you're going to end up with a piece like this. Now, I always like to press with my seam underneath the pie wedge shape, and you can see that here on the back side. The yellow is facing over the pink. It just lays nicer that way, just a tip, and starching will help keep this from stretching. So always starch your fabrics when you're working with curves. These Drunkard paths are made with templates, and so we have a couple of different sizes here in the shop. We have a 4-inch template, 6-inch template, and then we have 8-inch, which also makes kind of a rainbow type shape too. They come in lots of different sizes, and we can order different sizes for you too, but 4 and 6 seem to be the ones that most people are asking for. They are hard template plastic like your rulers, so you can cut out all your pieces with a rotary cutter. So that makes it really convenient. So that's the Drunkard's Path and working with curves. The next product that I wanted to show you was Easy Snips by Gypsy Quilter. These are little snip scissors that you use at your sewing machine. And they're great because you can clip threads without clipping into your fabric, because it has a curved blade on it, and it has curved handles, so you easily just pinch with your fingers and you have cut your threads. I keep these at all of my sewing machines, so I have a sewing machine here, I have a sewing machine at home, and I always keep one handy. This is my favorite scissor to use whenever clipping threads at the sewing machine. So it's called the Easy Snips and is by Gypsy Quilter. They come in pretty purple color, like all Gypsy Quilter products do, and we have them here in the shop. While on the subject of curved templates, the next quilt that I'm going to show you is made with the Everyday Curve. This is a very easy, light curve to sew, and you've seen me use this ruler set before on the quilt that's hanging behind me here. This is a quilt called Gateway, and it is by Everyday Curve Patterns, and it was very easy to do. And the next quilt that I have here in front of me was also made using the same exact ruler. So it's not a one and done ruler. There's lots of patterns out there that you can use this one for. So the Everyday ruler, of course, it has its convex and its concave pieces, just like the Drunkard's Path. And we're using the curve in just part of the quilt block. And so it is the piece that goes right here around the block, around the quarter square triangles. And so it was very easy to do because you're just putting together the two pieces, cutting them, and then it's a very easy curve to fit together. It's just a matter of making up your quarter square triangles, adding in some cornerstone blocks, and the block goes together very easy. I know this quilt has a lot of color on it. It is made with Kaffe fabrics. It's also made with some Tula Pink and some Sioux Pen. There's a bunch of different Free Spirit fabric makers in this quilt. The background is Kona Cotton Solids, and it is the color called Corsage. And I wanted to try something different than the traditional white or black or gray. I wanted to, use a pop of color that might bring out the other colors more. And it has a lot of color, that's for sure. And I know it's not going to be for everybody. You can do this quilt in more neutral colors. This would be beautiful in different shades of grays. Any kind of floral fabrics. Maybe you have a certain set of fabrics that you've been waiting to use in your stash. Or we have beautiful florals here too that you can give them a try. You don't have to go this crazy with color. Every once in a while I just get a little crazy with the color and we end up with this. But it's a really neat quilt block to make, and I think it would be great in a lot of different colors. The pattern is called Circle Time, and again, it is by Everyday Patterns, who are the makers of the Everyday Ruler. You should give this one a try. I really enjoyed making these. This is Circle Time. Our next quilt here is one that you have seen before on my videos. Darla had stitched this one up. It uses the Drunkard's Path style blocks to create this modern flower box quilt pattern. And it's by Robin Pickens. It's called Mod Flower Box. And we just got it back from the quilter. Our friend Judy quilted this one up for us in a beautiful geometric style pattern, which goes perfectly with the modern style of it. So I just wanted to share this one more time. It does need binding, and that will be going on soon, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of it. This is Mod Flower Box by Robin Pickens. Not all quilts with curves in them are made with curved templates. It's very easy to make curves within your quilt just by changing up the size of the strips that you're using and the size of the blocks. This is a Bargello style quilt. It is called High Seas at Hastings, and it is by Jelly Roll Quilts, the Classic Collection. This is by Pam and Nikki Lintott. This has 12 different traditional style quilts with kind of a little bit of a modern flair to them. Everything from Lone Star to Dresden's to everlasting trees. A lot of great traditional blocks, but kind of a little modern twist on them. And they're all made from jelly roll strips. If you have AccuQuilt and you cut your 2.5-inch strips to create your jelly rolls like we did here, I had my friend Terry here at the shop. She cut out all of my strips for me, so it made it a lot easier to create my strip sets. Or you can buy a jelly roll. Jelly rolls are 2.5-inch strips for those of you that are not familiar with them. And they're nice and easy to work with. And there's lots of different patterns out there. This one is a very easy Bargello. I have made Bargellos in the past that were a lot more difficult than this one was, because this one is made up in simple little small blocks, and then you just put the blocks together into rows. So it looks a lot harder than what it is, but it is super simple. And this book has great directions in it that are very helpful. Lots of great pictures in it too, because you know how I like to read the pictures. Jelly Roll Quilts, the Classic Collection. The quilt is called High Seas at Hastings, and very easy Bargello quilt to make. If you want to make a Bargello, this is a great one to begin with. So my last two projects we have for you today were made by Darla here in the shop. We have two great bags that she has put together, and they just so happen to have curves to them. The first bag that I have for you is called the Stylish Sewing Caddy, and this is a great pattern and very easy to do. It has the zipper included with it, and it also has metal stays. Metal stays are what gives the top of it body and what helps it open up, kind of like a doctor's bag, so that you can see everything in your bag when you need to. Very easy, small little bag to make, and it's got great curved features on it, curved handles, and so we put it in with our curved theme for today. It's the Stylish Sewing Caddy, and it is by Christine Kuprick by Pretty by Hand. She has a lot of wonderful bags with the hardware and everything that you need in it. All you need to do is add the fabric and the interfacings. Speaking of interfacings, in this bag, Darla chose to use fusible fleece, but you can use foam to give it even more body, more stiffness to it. So, you know, the choices are endless with interfacings out there. Great little bag, lots of outside pockets, inside pockets, great for holding all of your sewing tools or your toiletries for when you're traveling. The next bag that Darla made was the Hope handbag, and it's patterns by Mrs. H. Cute little handbag. It might be hard to see the handles up against my black, but they do have black handles on them. It has this great little curve in here to fit your hand in perfectly, and it has a zipper top, and inside there are inset pockets with zippers, and there is a couple other pockets for your phones. Really nice bag, has a great shape to it, and on the bottom you can see she put purse feet on it to help keep it clean, you know, so it's not touching the table or the floor wherever you're going to set it down. Great little bag. We really love this fabric line. I think it was Color Theory. Wonderful fabrics, lots of bright colors, and of course there's even curves within the fabrics here today. Thank you all for joining me today, and give curves a try. You'll really enjoy them. They're not as hard as you think they are. We'll see you again next month for First Friday Demonstration Day here at Sweet Stitches Quilt Shop. Have a good day, everybody.